that kind of stuff. I think the pack can be competitive. I have question marks, Kurt, on playing against some of those bigger packs, and we saw it against Cronulla, the Roosters, and Penrith this year, where the Dragons were really blown away in the first kind of 15, 20 minutes because they were just rolled over through the middle. I think they can be better. I thought once Toby Couchman came into regularly played first grade in that second half of the season stint, I thought our forward pack looked a lot more solid. We didn't get a lot of games out of Hame Sele. If he can kind of get anywhere close to his best, I think that helps the Dragons. You maybe throw in a Loco Tonga that can be serviceable and play a role off the bench. I think Jack DeBellin's added some really good impact when he's come off the bench. So, yeah, I think it can be competitive enough. And I guess probably that's all you kind of need with how dominant the Dragons' back row can be at times, and some of those aforementioned players that are in the back line that can create something out of nothing. I don't know if you have any kind of hot takes on that, Kurt. It's certainly not we're not a top 5, top 6 forward pack, but yeah, I think there's enough players there with your Frankie Molos as well to, I think do a job and perhaps hold their own, especially against some of those other contending sides for the top 8.
Yeah, not on paper, but defence is in the mindset of what they're doing. So I think with the players they've brought in, I think they're not going to let you down defensively as much as they have. Going back to whenever you want to start, they're going to be a lot better defensively, which means that they're going to win more ruck, which means they can play more football, which, again, they want to play some power, but they've also got more players in that team now where they're going to play a little bit lighter. They're going to have different periods in the games where you can have, like we spoke about, maybe Little and Cook on the field at the same time. You've got a different type of fullback that's going to be roving through the middle. It's going to be, I think to me, it's going to be a bit of a shock how different the Dragons' attack is as the year goes on. I think it will take time, but they will be completely different next year. So if the defence holds up, which is mindset, it's all mental. The turnaround of that is that they can have better field position to create more stuff, and they don't have to rely as much on their big forwards, which we're worried about. I'm still worried about the fact that they're one big body short. But if they can rotate that big body through the Couchmans, at a pinch, like an Eisenhuth has to fill a role. You get one of the kids coming up in Origin and that they have a game of their lives, and like he's on the back page of the newspaper the next day. All that stuff, it's all pushing in the right direction. So it won't be as boring and robotic as it was next year, and fingers crossed that everything went right in the game to win the game. There's different ways the Dragons can win next year, but it will start with defence. And whoever Shane Flanagan has in the team that day, particularly in the forwards, I'm sure they can make it work, but it all starts on what they do defensively to keep themselves in games, and they won't get lost, particularly in the first 30 minutes of matches where they were blown off the park at certain times because they just couldn't keep up. That's the big difference next year.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. Things can change very quickly. I think it's very easy, and I'm guilty of this more so than anyone.